Hey, hey, hey. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Open Door Hypnosis TV. I am Shara Prophet, the Mind Magic Coach. And tonight we're going to be talking about how to commit suicide the right way. Okay. So, for some of you, this is going to be a very important video to you. I'm going to share a little bit about my story. I haven't really been super vocal about, my own, I guess, experiences with depression and suicide and things like that. But I want to take this opportunity tonight to share a little bit about that with you and how I was able to move through those feelings and those experiences, because I understand that this is something that is quite common. I have lost several friends to suicide in very recent years, actually. And I've spoken, kind of talked one friend out of it. So I think that it's very important to share our stories and to be very transparent about that, especially as people who are in the healing arts. Anybody who does energy work, if you are a witch, a magician, hypnotherapist, a Reiki master, or whatever, we have all come out of some sort of struggle, some sort of dark place, in order to get to where we are right now. So I think that it is very important for people to share their experiences. Okay. So this happened, for me. It took place about maybe about 3 years ago, when I was first starting my practice. About maybe 4 years ago, when I was starting out with my practice. And I hit a really dry patch in my business. I was very brand new at doing this, and it went from being very like the constant stream of clients was coming all the time, to all of a sudden drying up completely. And it really put me in a dark place, because I wasn't pulling in the money that I needed to pull in. I'm one of those people that doesn't really like asking for help. And so my back was against the wall. And I'm just going to be honest and say that me falling into a depression and feeling suicidal really didn't have, now that I look at it, really didn't have anything to do with money, or not having the money, or not getting the clients. What it had to do with was, it triggered something in me that took place well before this particular experience and this event. And you guys hear me talk a lot about connecting with the point of origin, right? And I'll get more into that in a little bit. So basically, I went so far as to really plan everything out. To be honest with you, I planned the whole thing out. I was going to do it through medication. I was going to take a bunch of pills. I had some, what did I have here? I had like some Percocet. I had some Vicodins. I was really going to I was going to do it. I was going to do it. But I heard a voice that said, if you can sleep on it tonight, and if you wake up tomorrow and you still feel the same way, you have free will. It's your life. You can do what you want to do. And I said, okay, I'm going to sleep on this. And if I still feel the same way tomorrow, I'm going to do it. So this, I had even taken it as far as, like, I knew how long it was going to take for somebody to discover me, because I live alone. And, I go off on my little, off the grid types of things. I knew it was going to take maybe, 3 days maximum before somebody would have been knocking on my door trying to figure out where I was, because I didn't show up somewhere. Okay. But what happened was, I slept on it that night, and I was in total resolve. Like, I wasn't crying and in pain, and it was really a decision it was like, okay, this is the best thing for me to do right now. It'll be better for me. It will be better for everyone if I'm just not here anymore. Okay. So I wasn't in a place of like desperation. I wasn't super sad. I was just and I had totally resolved. I was in total surrender, and I was okay with leaving this planet. Okay. Um, but what happened was when I woke up the next day, a thought came over my mind. Do you want to see what's in store for you? You've been doing all of this manifesting. You've been, shooting these rockets of desire, as Abraham Hicks would say. Don't you want to see how it turns out? Don't you want to see what happens once you move through and past all of this? Don't you want to experience all of the things that you've manifested, all of the desires that you've created in your mind and the things that you've written down? Don't you want to see how that turns out? And I said, you know what? I do. I do want to see how that turns out. And I was quickly reminded that it's not the physical life that I need to end. It's not the end of this existence that I needed to be focusing on. I needed to focus on killing off the old parts of me that were still having a huge effect and impact on my current life. Okay. I needed to dig deep and figure out what parts of me need to be put to death, what parts of me need to be put to rest, what parts of me need to be released and killed off so that I could live the life that I wanted to live, so that I could have a happier existence. And once I got very clear on that, everything just started to shift. Okay. I ended up creating a whole class around that alone. Okay. And it helped me to really learn how to quickly shift my perspective, to shift my way of thinking so that I could have a new experience. And I know that people are out here struggling with depression. You have overcome or survived some sort of abuse that feels like it is absolutely too hard for you to carry on. It feels like it's too heavy for you to carry on. It feels like it's too much, Hi, Martin. Hello, good morning. I know that sometimes it feels so heavy that you feel like you just can't keep going. And I get that. Trust me, I get it. I totally understand. But what I will challenge you to do, I will challenge you to do is to figure out what it is that's putting you in that space. Okay. Figure out, is there another way out of it? Have I exhausted absolutely every single way to heal myself? Have I done everything possible? For real, have I really done everything possible? Because we can tell ourselves, I've done everything, and I can't move through this. I can't move past it. Everything is just so hard, right? We can tell ourselves that. But in hindsight, it's like, have I really exhausted everything? Have I really, truly done all of the work? And it's exhausting. It's very, very exhausting. Trust me. It's exhausting to keep going when you really just want to give up. Keep going when you're tired. You're so tired. You're just like, I'm tired of moving one step forward and then taking 10 steps back, or taking 3 steps forward and then having to take 15 steps back. I get that. Trust me. I totally understand what that's like. But killing off those parts of you, committing suicide in the right way means to kill off the parts of you that do not serve you anymore. the parts of you that are weighing you down, that are keeping you in toxic relationships, that are keeping you in self-sabotage mode, that are keeping you in, destructive behaviors such as substance abuse, even things like smoking cigarettes, okay, eating unhealthy foods. It's time to cut the part of you off that is triggering that type of behavior, because it's something that triggers the behavior, okay? Um, Dealing with abuse, okay? Now, I have not dealt with sexual abuse. I've never been sexually abused, but I have dealt with abuse in relationships, spousal abuse, okay? And it didn't get physical. Sometimes it would, but not in the way where I was walking away beaten and battered. But this was like verbal abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, okay? And it took many, 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 many years to heal from that and to recover from that, okay? And to remember who I am, all right? And the reason why I was in those relationships is because of the lack of a relationship with my biological father. All right. Because I didn't have that relationship growing up, I would occasionally get into situations with men that just weren't healthy and left me feeling empty and broken and sad, okay, and hardened. All right. And it wasn't until I started digging deep and clearing out that energy, doing the deep forgiveness work for myself mainly, okay, first and foremost, forgiving myself, and then forgiving my father for not being present, forgiving my parents for, how they were living their lives. And they were only doing the very, very best that they knew how to do, being young parents, okay? So I'm saying all of this to say that we need to start digging deeper into the cause of our depression, the cause of what's pushing us and making us feel like we want to leave the planet. All right. And the first thing you have to do is you have to find a reason to stay here. Okay. And I don't care how small that reason is. It could be like, you know what? Somebody needs to feed my cat. So I need to wake up tomorrow and feed the cat. And if I wake up tomorrow to feed the cat, then I'm going to make a commitment to myself to do a little bit of work every single day to get to the bottom of why I am constantly in this cycle of depression, or this cycle of low energy, or this cycle of feeling like I'm not worthy. Okay, the cycle of sadness. I'm going to constantly get to the root of it. I'm going to find out, what is the point of origin? When did I first start feeling like this? That's so important. And I know I say it in every video. Find the point of origin. It's very, very important to figure out, what was the event that took place that made me first have this emotional experience. And then you can go from there and you can start to clear out the emotions around that. You could do that with meditation. You could do that with energy work. You can do that with just visualizing the emotion, turning it into an image and releasing it, blowing it up, shrinking it, making it really, really small until it dissolves into nothing. There's many different visualizations that you can do to start to dissolve and to release that emotion around that particular event, okay? It is possible for you to live a healthy, happy existence. Trust me, it's very, very possible, okay? You have to take the steps. You got to do the work. You can't keep telling the same story over and over again. Now, I am a huge advocate of people telling their stories and talking about what they've been through, because once you name the problem, once you name the issue, you name the frustration or the emotion or the event that puts you in that space in the first place, once you name it, you are able to take the power away from it. You dissemble the energy around that particular thing. Okay. You break it apart. And then once you've named it and you've taken the power away from the intensity of the emotion, then the next thing that you do is you start to clear out the emotions. Okay. And there's so many different tools and modalities that you can use to do that. You can, like I said, you do energy work, there's hypnosis, there's meditation, there's Reiki, there's all different types of things. There's NLP, there's MER. There's so many different tools out there to help you break free. Okay. Now, on the flip side of that, there are people who are dealing with, terminal illnesses that keep them in perpetual pain. Now, that's a whole different story right there. That's a whole different scenario. And let me tell you something. I'm not here to tell you not to do something. You have free will. You do whatever you want to do. It's your life. I'm never one of those people that are going to say, "Oh no, we have to do something to keep people from taking their own lives." You do what you want to do. I'm not advocating that you do it, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. I'm just telling you my story, and I'm giving you guys some tips and some tools that you can probably apply to your own life if you are currently feeling that way, or if you've ever felt that way. The first thing you need to do is find one thing to keep you here for another day. Just one thing. Just one thing. Even if it's just, I want to see the next episode of this show. See what happens. Okay. Something that small to keep you here for another day. And then you have to make yourself a promise, make a commitment to yourself that when I wake up the next day, I'm also going to do one thing to see if I can, clear the energy around the event that took place that put me in this space in the first place. That's a starting point. That's just a starting point. But again, you do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like it's your life, it's your decision, it's your body. Nobody can tell you what to do with yourself and with your life. Only you can determine that. But you're here for a reason. You keep waking up every day for a reason. So if you want to find out what that reason is, even if you haven't fully intentionally been manifesting or intentionally trying to find your purpose, maybe just being open to finding out what that is and remaining here a little bit longer in this physical form can help you get there. Okay. But you've got to kill yourself in order to be rebirthed. You've got to kill off the old way of being. And a lot of people don't understand that depression usually is a sign. It can be a chemical imbalance. Absolutely, it can be related to certain medications, things like that. But I'm talking about the kind of depression that is directly connected to some sort of suppressed emotion. Okay, attached to an event that has taken place some point in your life that you have not been able to clear the energy around. Okay, I'm talking specifically about that because this is so many layers to all of this. So I'm obviously not generalizing this for everybody because I know everybody's experience is different. Okay, so I'm speaking directly to those of you who are experiencing these types of emotions due to suppressed emotions, okay, that have not been cleared. So I just want to be really, really clear on that. But you have to start killing that part of yourself off, okay? And a lot of people, what they don't realize is that sometimes you are energetically or on a soul level, you're leveling up, right? And because the body has to readjust whenever we ascend, whenever we get to a higher level, mentally, spiritually, the body has to adjust to that. Okay. So sometimes what happens is You will experience some pain in the body. You will experience some sickness, some sort of illness. Things will come up for you that will cause you to feel depressed or stressed or sad. Okay. And the reason for that is because you are unconsciously mourning that part of yourself that you're leaving behind. And that can trigger depression. It can trigger sadness. And you're like, I don't know why I'm so sad. I don't know why I'm so depressed. I don't know why I'm feeling like this. It's because you're leveling up. Okay. And most of us are doing it on an unconscious level, or you're doing it intentionally, but you don't know what the side effects are. Okay. So when we start leveling up on a spiritual level or on a conscious level, we have to leave behind who we used to be. And that part of us dies off. So, in essence, we're killing it off anyway, right? But because the body has to readjust to that, the mind and the body has to readjust, it sometimes will trigger illness or sadness or deep depression because you are leaving behind that old part of yourself and you're mourning. You're in mourning. All right. It's just like leaving an old relationship. You loved that person that you were with, but it's not working out. And you need to move on to bigger, better things and move forward. Right. So you mourn the ending of that relationship. It's the same thing when we are moving through different phases of our own lives. We're mourning the loss of that relationship. We're mourning the loss of that old part of ourselves. So that's another thing that could be triggering deep depression and sadness, okay? When you take full control of your mind and your thoughts and your energy, you're able to move through these like dark night of the soul. That's what, a lot of people in the spiritual community call it. They call it the dark night of the soul when you hit that deep rock bottom depression, when you're ready to end it. You're ready to just leave this planet and say, forget it, I'm done. That's the dark night of the soul. That's something happening within you, in your soul, that's getting shaken up. That is a transformation taking place. If you can move through the transformation, if you can survive it, believe me, what's on the other side of that is something that you probably would have never imagined in your wildest dreams that you would be doing, that you would be experiencing. There's things happening in my life right now that I never thought I would be doing. And it's just happening. I'm not really doing a whole lot to make it happen. It's just happening because I allowed myself to move through that dark night of the soul. I allowed myself to have the experience. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to leave just yet. I'm not going to leave just yet. And when people say, people who commit suicide are cowards or they're weak, I don't think that at all. It takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of strength to make that decision, to decide that you're going to leave your family behind, to decide that you're going to, physically harm your body. That takes a lot of guts to do that. Okay. That's not an easy decision to make. It's not the easy way out. So people say it's the easy way out. No, it's not. It's not the easy way out. That's hard. That's hard to make that decision. Okay. But if you can understand why you're feeling the way you're feeling, okay, if you can get to the root of it and find out, first of all, is this chemical? Is it a chemical imbalance? Is it medically related? Is there some sort of medication that I can get on? Find that out first, okay? And if you're finding that the medication is not working or is making you sick or loopy or whatever, then you have to start breaking down the psychological portion of that and figuring out, did something take place earlier in my life that could be related to this right now? You've got to do the work. You got to do the work. Absolutely. And that can be exhausting. it can be exhausting. So I get it and I understand it. But if you do this, if you do it, if you do the work, if you move through the process, then you will be handsomely rewarded. You will be rewarded, okay? Because it is a growing pain. It is something that we all have to move through, okay? It is a growing pain. And, you know, it can feel like a heavy burden. It can feel like you just don't want to keep going. And that is totally understandable. So, like I said, I am never going to be a person that says, that's the easy way out and it's the cowardly thing to do. You'll never hear me say that out of my mouth because I understand how difficult a decision that is and how that process goes. Okay. But I do encourage you to do the heavy lifting that you need to. Okay. So that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. I don't know if anybody has any questions right now. It's not too many people on tonight because it's kind of late. I know I got a late start. Um, I was up at 5 a.m. this morning because I had to be in Long Beach by 7:30 for a presentation. And then I went to work directly after that. And then I just came home and crashed, watched the new version of Charmed and crashed out with my cat and woke up and had to go straight to the altar and meditate and, take care of some stuff on a spiritual level. And then I came here to make a video. So it is late, I know. So a lot of people are asleep right now, but this video will still be up. So you guys can go back and watch it whenever you want to. And if you have any questions, if you're in a situation right now where you've been feeling suicidal, the first thing that I would recommend is you go and talk to a doctor or a therapist and a licensed therapist. I'm a certified hypnotherapist. I'm not a licensed therapist, but if you're suffering from deep depression and having suicidal thoughts, the first thing you need to do is you need to go and talk to your doctor, your MD, or a therapist, okay? Because I'm going to need a medical referral before I work with you. All right. By law, I have to, in order to work with medical issues or people who are having suicidal thoughts, I must have a medical referral. All right. So if you can do that first before contacting me, or if you want to contact me and we can talk about that process, please feel free to do that. There is a link in the description box below. It'll take you straight to my scheduler where you can set up a free phone consultation with me. All right. And that consultation usually takes about 20 minutes. And we just discuss what your goals are or what issues you want to work through in hypnosis. And then I can tell you about that whole process about getting a referral from your doctor or your therapist before we can move forward with your treatment in hypnosis. And basically what I do in hypnosis is I help to remove the energy or the emotion, the energy around those emotions that have been making you feel heavy, making you feel depressed, making you feel anxious, stressed out with having those suicidal thoughts. I help you remove that energy, and then we go in and we fill it up with healthy, positive energy and a new type of behavior or way of dealing with those emotions if and when they ever show back up. Okay. So that's just a little bit about how I work with that. I use many different modalities, hypnosis. I'm an NLP practitioner. I'm also a therapeutic imagery facilitator. And what that is just using visuals and images and scenery to help bring about healing or to help you meet a certain goal or overcome a certain challenge. Okay. So that's how I would be working with you. And, if you need medication, get on the medication, try it, just give it a try. Okay, I know a lot of people say, you know, don't take medication, don't take medicine. Now, it's not, to me, it's not the very, very first thing that I will go to. I am a holistic practitioner. Um, but I do understand that Western medicine has a place. Western medicine has a place and it works for the most part. Okay. All the time, no, it doesn't work all the time. But for the most part, it can help. It can help you get stabilized, okay, chemically balanced. And then once you're doing that in conjunction with any therapies or any, you know, holistic work that you might be doing, it can really be very, very helpful and beneficial to you, to your well-being, to your health, to your mental health. Okay. And so I think it's very important for you to explore all of the areas. If you need help finding a doctor in your area or finding a therapist in your area, contact me and I will help you locate somebody. Okay. Um, so I hope that this video has helped somebody out there tonight. You know, it was just on my heart to talk about this. It's not something that I talk about ever, really. Um, you know, I mean, my own mother doesn't even know about this. So, you know, that just goes to show you how much how much I have kept a lot to myself. But I have a hypnotherapist. You know, I have energy workers and coaches that I work with. I'm their client, you know, because I believe if you're doing this kind of work, you need to be doing this kind of work on yourself. So if you have anybody out there that doesn't have a coach or doesn't have a therapist or doesn't have a hypnotherapist or some sort of practitioner to help them move through their issues and they're trying to work on you, because you can ask them, who's your hypnotherapist? You know, who's your doctor? Who's your therapist? Who's your energy worker? You know, who's your coach? And then check their references and check their resume. Okay. So when you're searching for somebody to work with, you need to make sure that that person is doing their inner work. Because if they're not doing their inner work, how in the world are they going to help you? All right. So you can check all my resumes. You can check my resumes. I will give you the names of the people that have worked with me in the past and they continue to work with me. I have many mentors. I got coaches. I got hypnotherapists. I had a therapist before. You know, it's important, guys. We need each other. We need each other in order to heal. So, if anybody doesn't have any questions for me, any comments, whatever, I am going to sign off. Okay. And then I'll be back on here tomorrow because I am doing my 30-day challenge to do a video every day for the next 30 days. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions that you think of after the stream is over with, go ahead and leave the questions in the comments section below. If it's a very personal question and you don't want to leave it in the comment section below, just go ahead and you can email me, Shara at opendoorhypnosis.com, or you can schedule a phone consultation by clicking the link below. Check out all of the other services that I offer in my practice. Those links are also listed below. I'm also a tarot and oracle card reader. I read intuitively. I tap into your energy, into your spirit guides. I ask permission to tap into that field and receive any messages intuitively that need to be relayed to you. Okay. Also check out the Be Magic class. That is still happening. It's going to be an ongoing class. So go ahead and check that out now to read more about that. That helps you move through any self-sabotaging behaviors and clear out any unconscious belief systems that keep you from reaching your goals or overcoming a certain challenge. All right. So I thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Please feel free to share my videos. I am growing my channel, and I think that I'm sharing some great information here, and I think it's information that everybody needs. Okay. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow night. All right. I'll try to come on earlier tomorrow since I don't have to. I'm working from home, so it'll be easier for me to jump on a lot earlier. When I have to leave the house and go to the office, then my days get so crazy. So, but like I said, it'll be here, so you can come back and watch it anytime. I love you all. Have an excellent night, and tune in tomorrow. Okay? Love you. Bye.